Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's your first time here. I'm Sami, and this is a bit of an update video. It's been a couple of months since I started using my Nikon cameras, and I wanted to give you guys an update on how it's been going. If it's your very first time seeing me, hi, I'm Sami. I'm a content creator, mostly comedy-based content, and I'm also a photographer. I am an amateur photographer, one might say. I didn't train. I didn't learn how everything works. I still learn something new every single day. I have sold a couple of my photography prints. I've always loved photography. But when I got my gear, I was very intimidated because I did not know what I was doing. Still, there's days where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Whenever I speak to someone who's been doing this for years, I feel like, oh, yeah, I have a lot to learn. Yes, I do. But this is just for my fellow creators who's new in the game, who wants to venture into photography and content creation and videography. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on how I've been experiencing working with Nikon. So just as a bit of a background, a couple of years ago, I went to Kruger National Park for the very first time, and the people where we were staying, they had a Nikon camera and they borrowed me their camera, and I went and I took pictures at the Kruger National Park. And that was the day when I fell in love with Nikon. Those pictures came out beautifully. There's something about Nikon cameras. The colors are so vibrant and it takes beautiful pictures. It really does. So that day I told myself, Sami, one day you are going to have a Nikon, and here we are today. I'm very grateful. So my gear is the Nikon Z6 II and the Nikon Z30. And I've been using the gear in my studio, in my podcast studio, and with my general content creation within the studio. And it's been working great. I've been having a great time. With the photography side, I've ventured and I've done so many different things and took pictures of so many different things. And over time, you really get to know your gear and you learn by doing. At first, I was so intimidated and I was afraid that if I mess up my settings, I'm never going to be able to get it back to standard. What if I press a button and the whole camera disintegrates? You know? Especially when you start shooting in manual, it's very intimidating. You are like, what if the picture comes out stupid? Here's what I have to say about that. Who cares? Who cares? You can say that it was on purpose. That picture is blurry on purpose. I'm just following in the footsteps of Gen Z. What can I say? I have, over the past couple of months, learned how to shoot in manual by playing around. First of all, I learned about the exposure triangle, which is going to make these three settings will ensure that your picture is perfectly exposed, not overexposed, not underexposed. The three things in this triangle is your aperture, it's your shutter speed, and your ISO. I have been looking far and wide for an answer to the question, which one of these three settings do you set first? I couldn't get an answer. That is because there isn't an answer. It depends on what you are taking a picture of and what is your non-negotiable. For example, the other day I called up Alice Park. I was like, hello Alice Park, how are you? Listen, I am in my sports photography era. Can I please come to the semi-final and the final of the Lions and take some rugby pictures? They were like, all right, Sami. Bear in mind, I do know them. I've done content for them before. So I'm very fortunate that they allowed me to come onto the field and take pictures. This was one of the best experiences ever because I love rugby. I love rugby with my whole heart, and I always wanted to try to take gorgeous action shots of a rugby match. So that was great. I went with my Nikon Z6 II, and Nikon also lent me a lens. I went with a 400mm 4.5. And even if I say so myself, There was a lot of beautiful photos. I was very happy with it. But one thing that I can tell you for free is that a rugby game moves quite quickly. Yes, it does. And you can't tell a player, hello, hi, listen, can you just do that, try again, because I missed my photo. It doesn't work that way. I was just as shocked as you. Anyway, so in that case, you want crisp, smooth action shots. So your non-negotiable first thing that you would want to look at is your shutter speed. You want the camera to take that picture quick. All right, you don't want the camera to dilly-dally. No, you don't want blurry business. You don't want fricky with the ball to be other side the try line and you are still waiting for the picture. You know what I mean? So in that case, you will start with your shutter speed. In other cases, the most important thing might be that the background is nice and blurry. Maybe you're taking a picture of a person with a skyline of Joburg in the background, and you want that background to be nice and blurry. In that case, you will start with your aperture. So as soon as you start learning all of these things, you will know what is the most important when you take a picture, and you will get more comfortable with playing around with your settings. After that, you will start to, play around with the different focus modes, because there's so many different focus modes. Are you taking pictures of a bird? Are you taking pictures of a mountain that's standing still? Are you taking pictures of a group of people that's moving around? There's different focus modes, and you can play around with that settings until you find what works for you. If you're like me and you take pictures and videos of tons of different things, you are always going to be adjusting your settings. You will also start playing around with your white balance. There is different automated settings, and there's manual settings which you also learn to play with. I guess my point is, sometimes you feel stupid asking questions. You maybe think that you're supposed to know this, or if you ask something, it might come across as I don't know anything. But at the end of the day, you learn by doing, you learn by asking questions, you learn by watching content, and that's what I've been doing the last couple of months. So that's my little update video. I've been having a great time. I have been, it's such a privilege to me to have my own studio now, to have my gear, Nikon, amazing, great photos. I get to take pictures of stuff. It's been great. It's been amazing. So thank you, Nikon, for being a part of my journey. And I'll keep you guys posted. Let me know if you have any questions, but be forewarned, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. But yeah, that is my little update video. All right. We'll chat again later. Bye-bye.